Asterisk, what if your destiny was written in math, but your heart said to break the rules? That's exactly what the main characters of Foundation Season 3 are facing. From Gaal's rising powers to Hari's digital ghost rewriting the galaxy's future. The characters we thought we knew are becoming something entirely new. Their personal struggles are no longer just emotional, they're shaping the fate of entire civilizations. And if you thought the drama ended in Season 2, think again. Season 3 takes their stories to deeper, darker, and more dangerous places. Asterisk at the core of Foundation Season 3 are the characters who've carried the weight of history and the burden of choice. Let's start with Gaal Dornick. She began as a brilliant mathematician with doubts in her heart. But now she's more than that, she's a prophet. Her visions are no longer just glimpses of the future, but warnings of disaster. Gaal is no longer just following Hari Seldon's plan. She's becoming the leader of her own version of it. And with Salva gone, that pain is also pushing her to lead with more fire and fearlessness. There's a strength in Gaal now that wasn't there before, and that's exactly what the galaxy might need. Or fear. Then there's Hari Seldon, the man who predicted the fall of the Empire. But what does it mean when the man himself refuses to vanish? Even in death, Hari is still fighting. He exists as a digital consciousness, a copy of himself running in simulations, whispering instructions, guiding revolutions, but Season 3 is testing the limits of his genius. Does he still believe in his original psychohistory plan, or is he secretly rewriting it? The digital version of Hari is more unpredictable, even more emotional. There are moments when you wonder, does he want to save the galaxy or control it? Salva Hardin's arc in Season 2 ended in tragedy, but her memory still haunts the story. For Gaal, Salva was more than a companion, she was a living reminder of choice, risk, and humanity. And for viewers, her sacrifice wasn't just heartbreaking, it was symbolic. She proved that fate could be changed. Even if Salva doesn't return physically in Season 3, her decisions are still changing the game. Flashbacks, memories, and maybe even some form of vision will likely keep her part of the emotional heart of the season. On the Empire side, things are even more unstable. The genetic clone rulers Brother Day, Brother Dusk, and Brother Dawn were once symbols of perfect continuity. But Season 2 tore that illusion apart. Brother Day, played by the intense and towering Lee Pace, is more dangerous than ever. His need for control is clashing with his crumbling identity. Without the balance of his brothers or the loyalty of his subjects, he's becoming more of a tyrant than a ruler. He knows he's not truly unique, and that haunts him. His choices are no longer strategic, they're personal. Meanwhile, Brother Dawn is showing signs of rebellion. The youngest of the trio, he's growing a sense of individuality. The whole idea of the genetic dynasty is about sameness, about repeating what works. But Dawn wants freedom. That's dangerous because it means unpredictability. We've already seen him fall in love, doubt his orders, and question his role. In Season 3, that questioning might become rebellion. Brother Dusk, the oldest, is caught between wisdom and weariness. He sees the dynasty falling apart and knows it's too late to stop it. His alliance with Demerzel, or lack of it, will be one of the most interesting shifts to watch. Because Demerzel, the Empire's robot advisor, is no longer just a background player. She's gaining her own power, her own motives, and perhaps her own plans for what the galaxy should become. These characters aren't just names in a big sci-fi story. They're deeply written, emotionally layered people standing at the edge of destruction or evolution. And the actors Lou Lobel as Gaal, Jared Harris as Hari, Lee Pace as Brother Day bring a level of emotion and intensity that makes Foundation more than just a show about space. It's a show about choice, belief, power, and pain. And in Season 3, all those things are going to collide, asterisk, just when you think you've figured out the galaxy's key players. Foundation throws in a stranger with a secret. Season 3 isn't just bringing back your favorites, it's adding new voices, fresh faces, and mysterious figures who could change everything. And in a universe where one action can ripple across star systems, the arrival of just one new character can flip the entire story. Season 3 is expanding the galaxy, not just in space but in story. The showrunners have made it clear, This season, we'll introduce new characters who challenge the very balance of power we've seen so far. While Apple TV Plus is keeping many of the names under wraps, hints from behind-the-scenes footage and casting leaks give us clues about what to expect. One of the most talked about new additions is a rebel leader from the outer reach, a lawless corner of the galaxy where even the Empire has no influence. This character, rumored to be played by a rising British actor known for gritty roles, may be the start of a completely new resistance movement. A voice of the people, driven not by math or prophecy, but by pure survival instinct. This type of character could become a mirror to Gaal 2 leaders with the same goal but wildly different methods. There's also buzz about a young child prodigy, possibly tied to the mysterious Second Foundation. This character may possess an evolved mind capable of reading emotions, calculating probabilities, and sensing truths others can't. Some fans believe this child could be the future of Hari's plan, or the one to destroy it. And then there's the most mysterious hint of all, a face from the past returning in an unexpected way. Some suggest we may see a former character thought to be dead reappear with a shocking new purpose. Is it Salver? Is it someone tied to Demerzel's hidden past? We don't know yet, but the show loves playing with timelines and identity. Nothing is ever truly over in this universe. Another exciting rumor is that Season 3 may explore alien species, not as monsters or enemies, but as thinkers, explorers, or maybe even spiritual leaders. This would be a bold step for the series, introducing non-human life that has its own history, religion, or even math system. If true, it could challenge Hari's psychohistory and bring a completely new layer to the show's central question. Can the future really be calculated if other minds are at play? Beyond the fictional plot, the casting choices are also adding buzz. There's talk of guest appearances from stars known for other major sci-fi franchises. This not only brings star power, but also signals that Foundation is aiming to grow into a larger TV universe. Think spin-offs, think extended arcs, think crossovers, maybe even in tone. If not in canon, what's certain is this: every new character in Season 3 is being placed with purpose. Whether they're rebels, prophets, survivors, or spies, they each serve the larger theme of the season: disruption. The plan is unraveling, the Empire is weakening, and new players are arriving not to fix the system but to burn it down or build something completely different. Season 3 doesn't just expand the cast, it changes the rules of the game. And these new characters, they're not here to take sides. They're here to redraw the map. Asterisk, not every betrayal is loud. Some are quiet, hidden in a glance, a pause, or a word left unsaid. In Foundation Season 3, the most dangerous moves aren't made on the battlefield, but in the shadows of the mind. Twists are coming, and they're not from the obvious villains. They're from the people you thought were loyal, the ones who smiled and kept a secret. Let's start with Demerzel. For most of Season 1, she felt like a silent protector, a powerful robot serving the Cleon Dynasty without question. But Season 2 peeled back her layers, and what we found was terrifying. Yes, she's a machine, but she's not emotionless. She's ancient, and she's tired. Her loyalty to Empire is real, but it's built on pain, programming, and centuries of regret. By the end of Season 2, we saw her make choices that hinted at something chilling. She might not be following the Empire anymore. She might be manipulating it. And if she's playing her own game, no one is safe, not even the clones she once raised like sons. There's also a quiet shift happening with Brother Dawn. He was always the softest of the 3 clones. The most curious, the most likely to feel things he shouldn't, and that's exactly why he's dangerous now. The cracks in his loyalty have already shown. He fell in love, he doubted orders. And in Season 3, he may be ready to betray everything he was cloned to protect. But here's the twist: he doesn't want power, he wants freedom. And sometimes freedom means chaos. Even Hari Seldon, the man who predicted everything, is starting to surprise us. There's more than one version of him now: ghosts, simulations, fragments, and some of them don't agree. What if the Hari guiding Gaal isn't the same one hiding in the vault? What if one wants peace and another wants control? We've seen Hints of conflict between the copies. Season 3 may force Gaal to choose between two Haris, each claiming to know the right future, but only one can be followed. The other might become an enemy. And what about Gaal Dornick? Everyone sees her as the new leader, the chosen one. But the truth is her powers are growing faster than she understands. Her visions aren't just of danger. They might be changing reality itself. What if her actions, based on those visions, are the very thing that causes the collapse she's trying to stop? It's possible that Season 3 will show her making a terrible mistake, one that costs lives. One that makes us ask, is Gaal still the hero? Small moments from Season 2 now feel like seeds for something darker, the whisper of rebellion among the Foundation settlers. The mysterious silence from the second Foundation. The uneasy peace between warring worlds. All of it feels like a calm before a storm. These are not random plot threads, they're warning signs. Even Salvor's death might not be what it seemed. What if part of her mind was saved? What if her presence returns not as a person, but as a voice in Gaal's visions? That could twist reality even more. What if Salvor becomes a symbol guiding Gaal or even haunting her? In Foundation, foreshadowing is never obvious. It hides in math, in myths, in flashbacks, and in throwaway lines. But when the pieces finally connect, they hit like a starship crash. Season 3 is filled with those quiet clues, the kind you missed the first time, but realize later were warnings all along. This season will teach viewers something simple and chilling. Never trust a character just because you love them. Because in Foundation, even the kindest face might be hiding the deadliest secret. Asterisk, the future isn't written in stone, it's written in stars, screams, and sacrifice. As Season 3 of Foundation races toward the unknown, fans aren't just asking what will happen next. They're asking who will survive it. The galaxy is breaking apart, the plan is cracking. And what comes after? That's the most dangerous question of all. Season 3 doesn't just continue the story, it threatens to change the shape of it completely. Everything we thought was solid, the Empire, the Foundation, psychohistory, it's all under pressure now. One wrong move and centuries of planning will fall apart. So what's next for this vast and complicated world? Let's begin with the biggest ticking bomb, the second Foundation. For 2 seasons, we've heard whispers. Hidden minds, secret goals, people shaping the future from the shadows. In Season 3, that shadow steps into the light. The second Foundation isn't just a myth, it's a threat. And they don't follow Hari's plan like the first Foundation does. They think differently. They feel differently. And they may decide that the current course of the galaxy is wrong. This could spark a conflict not just between empires but between minds. A battle of ideas, emotion, and control. Meanwhile, the genetic dynasty is falling. Season 3 may be the moment it finally collapses for good. Brother Day's grip on the Empire is slipping. His choices are growing more violent, more personal, more panicked. Many believe Season 3 will mark the end of the clones, either through rebellion from dawn, betrayal from dusk, or a final act of independence from Demerzel herself. If that happens, the galaxy will be left without a central power. The result? Chaos, war, opportunity. On the other side of this war, Gaal Dornick and the remaining members of the Foundation are facing a different kind of collapse, one of belief. Psychohistory was meant to be their map to survival, but now it's full of gaps. Hari's plan is no longer predictable. Gaal's visions are starting to show more than just patterns. They're showing possibilities. Which future will she follow? And what if those futures show people she loves dying, no matter what path she takes? Fan theories are already flooding the internet. One popular idea is that Hari's consciousness will split further, with different versions fighting each other, each one thinking they are the true protector of the galaxy. Another theory? That the Foundation itself becomes the next empire, repeating the same mistakes it once tried to destroy. Power, after all, corrupts, even in the name of progress. And then there's the biggest question. What if psychohistory no longer works? We've already seen signs. Emotions, love, sacrifice, those things can't be measured in equations. Salvor's death changed Gaal. Demerzel's feelings changed history. The math is cracking because humanity is too messy to predict. If this continues, the entire plan may fall apart. And without the plan, what happens to hope? Some fans also believe we'll see the rise of a completely new character, someone born from chaos, untouched by either Empire or Foundation, a wild card. A revolution of flesh and mind who doesn't believe in fate or numbers. If that happens, all the sides we followed may become irrelevant. A new player could shift the entire game board, but no matter which theory is true, one thing is clear: Season 3 is the turning point. It's no longer about preventing collapse. It's about surviving it. And in a universe full of thinkers, prophets, clones, and rebels, there are no guarantees, only choices. And consequences. So when you ask what's next, remember? The real question isn't what will happen. It's who will still be standing when it does.